Hi everybody, I'd like to welcome Councillor Chris Kloot, who I've never met before today, serving Chilliwack in City Hall since November 2014 in the inaugural edition of Councillor's Corner, Chilliwack City. This chillTV segment is brought to the community to help educate residents on how City Council represents the various interests in various areas. I understand, Chris, your direct responsibilities include being chair of the Design Review Advisory Committee and also the Agricultural and Rural Advisory Committees. Perhaps we can ask you to describe the responsibilities of each committee and what important work those committees are involved with.
Certainly, and it's good to be here. Thanks for having me here today. Yes, so each councillor has their portfolios, their committees that they chair. I have the privilege of doing the design review and the agricultural and rural advisory. The design review is made up of 12 members out of our community, industry reps, the RCMP, community members, and we look at designs that come forth to the city that are multifamily, institutional, commercial. We want to make sure that we have a pleasing design. We have a design that meets pedestrian connectivity, cyclists.
So this is for all new city projects?
Correct.
So like what's going on downtown, the downtown redevelopment right now would go through your committee?
Absolutely. So that all came through our committee, and then what the committee does is make a recommendation to council. Sometimes there's extra conditions that are added to the proposal that the committee has identified, and then it'll go through to City Council for their approval. So,
wow, that's great.
Yeah, and it's been around longer than I've been around, but certainly it.
Well, and if you've got people like maybe that are even watching that might be interested in being involved, how does one get involved, or might do you appoint these people, or how are they put forward?
Yeah, correct. So we do a call out through the city social media, through the newspaper. Every 2 years we put the call out for the different committees for people to apply. Mm-hmm. Generally there's a lot of people who applies, and then we myself as a chair and the vice chair, and in this case for the design review, it's Councillor Mercer. We go through the applications, and we have the difficult task of choosing. We like them all, but we have to choose however many spots are available. Okay,
well, interesting. And I know that in December, the Design Review Committee passed a resolution to study EV charging stations, is that right? For the new zoning bylaw. Can you tell us how this sort of affects residents and what the city's hope for outcome is?
Certainly. So we know there's a demand. We want to be a sustainable city. This is something that has been asked for. So we're putting the call out there in our zoning bylaw as well. We're doing the zoning bylaw review as we speak to see what we can do to help plan for the future. And we've seen developers in our community, such as the Five Corners site, that are providing, and I forget the number, but I thought it was like 6 charging stations in that development. So, as changes evolve and as needs arise, we want to be in front of that and make sure that we are as sustainable as we can be.
Yeah, well, that's great. And you're also here to give us some updates on city happenings. I understand new housing needs study is being done right now. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, certainly. So the provincial government is mandating that all local governments and regional districts by April 2022, I believe it is, have a housing study in place to identify the needs within the community. We're getting ahead of that a little bit, but we're engaging the community. We want to hear from residents, and people can go over to chillwack.com/ I believe it's housing study, provide us what they think we might be missing. We've done a lot of things over the last 5 years.
There's I saw, I think on social media, there was you were involved in a big photo on a new modular housing project.
Correct. So the supportive housing units that we're fortunate in Chilliwack that we have a really good working relationship with Mayor and Council with the provincial government. And we have seen in the last couple of years, the Truthui site just recently opened, and the Traders Inn site across from the library on First Avenue opened, I guess it's probably a few months ago now, but 92 beds for people who are at risk, who need a roof above their head. And we're certainly doing our part to make sure that our residents all have a roof above their heads. And
no.
It's challenging. Every community deals with
well, it's something that comes up all the time when we have guests from the city. That's a perennial thing that comes up. So it's you guys are doing good work.
Yep.
But it is challenging, and my understanding is it's really not a city specific issue. It's really the provincial government, is that right?
Absolutely. So it is the responsibility of the provincial government. Key partnerships are key to all of this. Like I said, we do have a really good relationship. Our mayor has a great relationship with the Minister of Housing. We have been fortunate to have had good news over this term. So in the last couple of years, or year and a half, with these housing projects, the portal, people remember the public hearing, they did ask for a 3-year extension. They were granted an 18-month extension as we look to find a more permanent solution to that need. And I think the mayor's, he's having some good conversations as we speak, and I'm looking forward to some good news coming out of that soon.
Well, that's good. And speaking of mayor, your worship, you're mayor right now, is that right?
Well, I'm acting mayor, so
acting mayor.
When Mayor Popove is not available, then I kind of fill in the gap. So
you get your own private parking spot now, and all of that
like
for a little while.
No,
living the
probably
dream.
Have to pay for parking now or something. You know?
So that's really cool though, and you've done it before.
Yeah, every year, the 6 councillors each have a 2-month period where they basically shadow the mayor. So if he's not available to go to
contingency planning, that's great.
Well, you never know, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes people have, in our case, we're fortunate we haven't had it, but sometimes there's been health issues, or people go on vacation, or there's 2 people requesting the mayor to be at an event at the same time. So there's always a backup plan.
So, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, you can find a lot of more information than we talked about today at the chilliwack.com, the city's website, under the mayor and council link at the bottom of the main page. Chris, I want to thank you for joining us today.
No worries, thank you.
Pleasure having you on the inaugural edition of Councillor's Corner, Chilliwack City. And until next time, I think next time we actually have Mayor Ken on in February.
I'll make sure he gets here.
Right on. Thanks again.
Awesome.